3 days after a court-mandated deadline, the presidency says it has been assured that the final report of the Zondo Commission into state capture would be in the hands of President Cyril Ramaphosa soon and thereby made public. By court order, the final installment was supposed to be provided by the 15th of June. To discuss the legal implications, we're joined by legal analyst Adv Romeo Nthambeleni. Thank you very much for availing yourself this morning. Given that this is a court-mandated deadline, of what consequence is it legally that to date it still has not been released?
Thank you. Good morning to you and the viewers. Yeah, as you have correctly indicated that it's a court, it's a court order that was supposed to have been delivered on the 15th through the agreement which was done by the State Capture Commission itself. So it clearly means that if there is non-compliance with that, it borders on contempt of court. So it means that an application for contempt of court can be brought against the Commission for failure to comply with the extension of the submissions of the report which they have themselves committed that it will be submitted on the 15th of June.
That application would have to be made by whom?
The interested parties. I'm not too certain as to when they approached court to ask for an extension, whether there were people that was, that were part of the order that says that when the order is not complied with, they will be able to bring a contempt of court application, and whether the presidency actually opposed, because that is very, very much important. If there was an issue of an extension and the extension was opposed, but the court granted the extension, those that opposed the application can go back to court and say, you see, we came here and we opposed, an extension was granted, and then these people still did not comply with the court order themselves that directed them to deliver the report by the 15th of June. So I don't know whether they went unopposed. So if they went unopposed, any other interested party, like any other organizations with interest on the state capture report, can approach court and say that there was a non-compliance with the order that the court granted, or ex parte, without any exposition or defense by any other party.
What does it mean for the legal status of the final report if it's submitted after the deadline?
Yeah, look, in terms of the contents, it doesn't say much. It just says that it's a report that has been delivered late. But in terms of the contents, it's the same with those that were actually delivered on time. Unless there's another party that can say that due to the failure of delivery on time, there was something that was supposed to be done within a specific framework of time, and that was not done. So that should be raised in an application of contempt of court, and the reasons why the contempt should be granted. So if it's done belatedly, already that time will have already passed, and it will not hold any water whatsoever, because in law you have to bring things within the right realm and the right framework. And by now we are not even aware as to when this application will be delivered. So an interested party can approach court and a high court on an urgent basis to actually seek clarity as to when the report will be delivered.
You speak of interested parties, and a lot of South Africans have been interested in this matter. I mean, it was public, the entire process. There are people who took sick leave depending on who was actually testifying on that day. Just on a different matter, especially with everything that is happening around the president, the presidency, with Arthur Fraser's allegations, of what consequence is this, especially for, you and I, people who are South Africans who have been so interested in this process that it is delayed again? Yeah,
look, there are public interest organizations which can actually approach court on an interest base and show the reasons of the delay and why actually such reasons for the delay will cause injustice to the members of the society, and the court will listen to that and make a determination whether there is contempt. And when we hear the opposition on the other side, by them submitting reasons why they are actually late, then the court will weigh the balance of the two and give an order that is appropriate, so that the delays will not extend without any date whatsoever. First, we have to get clarity as to why the report is being delayed. And previously, when we listened to what the Chief Justice was saying. He said he wanted to cross their T's and dot their I's in relation to the evidence that is being presented, so that they close all the loopholes, because you need evidence for those that are actually implicated to avoid the report being reviewed. So I think that is what they were saying, that they needed more time and needed more information, but that should be put in the court papers if ever there's an interest organization that is actually saying that the deadline should be enforced. And if the deadline is not being complied with, what are the reasons for those deadlines not being complied with?
Advocate Romeo Nthambeleni is a legal analyst. Thank you.